Truly, it is one of the most entertaining parts of my day watching the anti-mask people melt down every time I come out with a new design. They have a new tactic for trying to get me to be quiet, and if you had been present at the Twitch channel last night, I delineated it in detail. Nevertheless, I will not be deterred because for 2 years, I listened to the same group of people sing the praises of how wonderful capitalism is, especially when it's the small guy like me just trying to get by and maybe sell a few things here and there, and how that was going to be the savior of the world, whereas social democracy in Venezuela was evil, terrible, and horrible, and how I was some kind of a commie for even trying to defend it. Now when, in less than 2 months, and that's all it's been, I made my first mask 1 July, it's not even the end of August yet. 2 months of actual capitalism, small guy capitalism, and they are ready to lose their minds. So, nevertheless, Merry Christmas, everyone. Say that while you can, before the forces that be make it something that is either racist or illegal or immoral or whatever they want to do. You can get your Merry Christmas mask here. It's got a nice hearth with some stockings and something that I think will be appropriate for just about any get-together this coming holiday season. Now, speaking of Twitch, by the way, just wanted to share another clip from last night. This game that we're playing, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, this is the expansion Blade of Galadriel. It's a continual learning process. Last night we did okay, but then about halfway through, all of a sudden things kind of went sideways, and it took me about an hour to realize what I was doing wrong, and hopefully tonight we can fix this. But here's a clip just from some of the gameplay.
Maggots defending this fort was soft. Taking it from them was too easy. Perhaps the others will be more of a challenge. I did all the tools you need to take this fortress. But did I get any thanks? No, I did not. Now you'll find out what happens when you don't pay your dues.
Well, they can make anybody as...
So, that's pretty much how it goes. You always have these storylines that are continually developing. It makes for a great deal of entertainment. And, of course, as you can see over to the side, we had a lot of people talking about a lot of different topics. So, it got a little bit distracting, but that's what the whole point of being over there is. Even if I would have to stop playing the game or get killed a bunch of times, that doesn't matter. It's really about you guys. It's about the conversation. Now, back in the real world, of course, everyone is aware of Hurricane Laura. It made a dead hit, Category 4 or 5, on Lake Charles, Louisiana. The reason that's important, Jennifer, Veterans for Truth, her channel is now Jennifer LaFontaine. They had evacuated. I had spoken to her the day before, and they went way out in the country. So while I'm sure there's power lines down and lack of communication, her and her family, I believe, are perfectly fine. They had a place to go that was way far away from Lake Charles. So I'm sure we'll be hearing from her as soon as it's possible and appropriate, given what they're going through. So make sure that you pray for the folks down there. That was kind of came out of nowhere. It was just a tropical storm, then a Cat 1, then a Cat 2, and then all of a sudden it blew up into this huge monster, and the pictures from down there are pretty epic. Now, I haven't talked about Abby Martin a lot since the days when I was really focused on the Venezuela thing. And you have to remember something. Every day that goes by that the U.S. doesn't say anything about Venezuela, or Venezuela continues to grow and continues to adapt and move forward, is an indictment of their story. Because what should have really happened by now? Because based on their story, there should have been this epic collapse. There should have been this huge throng of people, the vast majority, ready to overthrow the government, and because of the lack of this, lack of that, lack of the other. All a complete, total, fabricated, concocted lie. Using very specific imagery from specific places, making you believe it was something it wasn't. Now, Abby used a term that I have always thought was really great. It's called curating our reality. The media basically curating, taking this image and this particular fact and that particular fact, and then putting it all together in some mishmash, usually on the behalf of some big pharma, big oil, big military, whatever, to try to make you believe something isn't true. And that's why it took this channel 172 videos over 2 years to try to back all that out and re-explain with facts historically what really happened in Venezuela. Now, congratulations to her and Mike. They've recently had a baby. So she's kind of had to step away a little bit from a lot of things, but she's back at it now, talking a lot about Gaza, a lot about domestic issues. We don't agree on all issues, but the thing about Venezuela, absolutely correct. Now, the whole point of today's video, though, was this tweet that she had made on 23 August. And I want you to listen to this and absorb it for just a second. Her tweet: "There's more people marching for QAnon than I've seen show up for anti-war demonstrations in Los Angeles." This is not good. This isn't Idaho. This isn't West Arkansas. This isn't Southern Georgia. In Los Angeles, there are more people showing up for QAnon rallies than there were showing up for anti-war rallies in Los Angeles, California, the heartland of liberalism in the West and progressivism in the West. Think about what that would mean everywhere else. And then tell me I'm wrong about this map. This is what it's going to look like. They're still going to hold California, and more than likely Oregon and Washington. But the rest of this country is going to go completely red. And this is what it's going to look like. 333 to 205 in the Electoral College. Cheating or not, they can cheat when it's close in swing states, but not in the rest of them. And when these numbers start to come in, if you think the videos from the last election of the MSM melting down are funny to watch, wait until you see this one. Wait until you see this one. It's going to be ugly. It is truly going to, they're not going to be able to lie because the numbers are just going to be staggering. The amount of people that are going to say enough is enough. Get back to normal. Stop calling me names just because my skin is a certain color. Meaning white people. Getting called the R word, racist, all the time. No matter what. And even Oprah coming out saying it doesn't matter what you've done or what you've said or any platitude that you agree with or taking a knee, you will always have your whiteness. You will always have, and some of us has just accepted that. I get called the R word all the time. I've just accepted their premise. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm white. And I'm always going to be white. No matter what I say, it's never going to mean anything to you. I'm not taking a knee for anybody other than Jesus Christ. So I'm just done. I'm just not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to make explanation or make apology or anything. I am just who I am. And, Abs is a millennial. One day she'll realize this. Not my job to fix her. It's not my job to change her mind. We don't always have to agree always on everything. This is kind of the case. There is a parallel between what's going on here and what's going on in Venezuela. About this whole idea of labeling Nicolas Maduro some kind of evil dictator. Dictators don't stand for elections. She's right on the right sheet of music with this in Venezuela. So it's the same idea of just broad brushing here a large group of people that really she's a part of, whether she likes to admit it or not. It's just the case. And eventually she'll learn, but, I'm not going to let that affect the relationship as it stands, because even though she may be for this group or that group, we have to take allies where we can find them. So anyway, just wanted to cover all of that and redo the map and show you that it's going to be, if in LA, Los Angeles, California, there are more people showing up for QAnon rallies than for anti-war demonstrations, what does that tell you about the rest of the country? It's not even close, and the MSM knows it. It's not even close. So, anyway, 3 hours a night, every single night on Twitch. I will, of course, give you the link to that. And you can ask me any question about anything you want to. It doesn't matter what the topic is. If I have knowledge on it, or have information or an opinion on it, I will try to answer. There are some things that if I just don't know, I'll tell you. I don't know. I don't have any information. I'll look into it. So, but would really appreciate the continued support over at Teespring with the masks. And you guys have been great. I'm a big believer. Money talks, bullshit walks. So, God bless. We will see you tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe.